Evening, everyone. It's about 7:20 on Tuesday evening, the 4th of May, and this is video number 742. It's your closing comment, and I apologize for both the lateness of it and the shortness of it. I've had an outage almost all day, not I personally, but Network Solutions, and so I've had very limited access to a lot of my data and my databases. So that's why I'm going to keep it short and to the point. It was a very strange day. And, as I've said repeatedly, Jay Powell and the Fed have absolutely no control over interest rates. And, everybody can say they have our back, but with the exception of very short term rates, they really can't do anything about market forces. And Ms. Yellen made that very clear today when she said that if the economy continues to heat up and move towards overheating, that she may have to raise interest rates. So, it's not her job to literally raise rates, but you get the general idea, and that threw a shock into the market. The Dow was down as much as about 300, and it actually finished up $19.80 today, while the NASDAQ was down over 4%, 470 points, and it came back and closed down only 261, which is still 1.88%. That's a big number. But the S&P down 28, the transport's actually up $6.30 on the day. Nothing meaningful, but in the green. And the Russell, the second biggest loser, down just short of 30, 29.16 or 1.28%. What was interesting was which stocks actually moved down and what the internals look like. The NYSE was 1.3 to 1 down, which is really nothing overwhelming one way or the other. 2 to 1 down in the NASDAQ. Both of those right after the open were in excess of 3 to 1 down. What was big today was the volume. Volume increased from about 4.2 billion to 5.8 billion. That's a pretty big increase in this kind of market, especially when you have most of the selling really in the mega cap stocks. And, as everybody knows, it takes a bit to move a mega cap stock, and we certainly saw action on the downside there. Just to give you a couple of examples, we had Amazon down 80 for the second day in a row. Google down 42, Apple down almost 5, Facebook down almost 5, Netflix down almost 6, 15 down for NVIDIA. You get the general idea. So it was, in fact, a very tough day for those names. We had a bunch of news this morning, trade balance, a disappointment. That's a deficit, 74.4 billion versus an expectation of 70.5. We had factory orders, which were actually a little better, 1.1 versus 0.7 expected. And yields did, in fact, come down. And I'm going to say that was more a flight to safety, with the amount of liquidation that there was in those mega cap stocks. The money had to go somewhere, and it wasn't the market. We had some great earnings numbers today. CVS beat top and bottom. It was up a couple of dollars this morning in the 79 area, up about $1.70. The guidance was excellent, and by the end of the day, it was 81.12, up 343 or 4.4%. Nothing quite so extreme with Pfizer, although it too had beaten and had good guidance and is talking about, its regular FDA approval and use for 12 to 15-year-olds, which is a very big demographic. After the close, we had Lyft beat top and bottom, smaller than expected loss. Also, though, great guidance. The stock was trading around 56.19, down about 90 cents on the day. It really didn't react until the conference call. And at that point, it jumped up to almost $61. And the last was 60.15, up 307, or over 5%. T-Mobile, same thing, although, not overwhelming. It was down $3 with the rest of the market at 128.5. After its beat top and bottom, it rallied $4 up to 132.5, last 131.90, up 50 cents. Activision Blizzard, same situation, beat top and bottom. It had closed 88.69, down 246, and it moved over $6 to the upside on the news. Traded as high as 94.80, 93.50, the last up 235, or 2.6%. And Credit Suisse, which has certainly been in the news of its own recently, upgraded two stocks, Cleveland Cliffs and Big Steel, and both had dramatic moves. They were both upgraded. U.S. Steel closed 27.16, up 248, over 10%, and they new price objective from Credit Suisse was a move from 15 to 35 as a price objective. Cleveland Cliffs, 2069, up also 248, except that was 13%. I don't know what their number was, but it was substantial, and it also was upgraded to a buy and an outperform. In the commodities, we had some pretty extensive moves today. We had the oil, 65.69. That was up another dollar and change, and it is up another $0.50. It has clearly broken out over the recent highs. It's trading right now 66.17, as you can see up here. This morning I was talking about it. It was below this high, which was in the 65.5 area. Now we're into this recovery high back here at the $68 range. The gold was a big disappointment today on the news that rates might rise, as you would expect. It had been up 25.5 yesterday, and today it actually finished down about 15. And I know that I mentioned it yesterday that I would take up 25, down 10 every other day without any question. So today we did not break the low from yesterday. As you can see, yesterday's range was a high of 1769, about, low 1765. Today, even with the big downdraft, the low was only 1769 to 1799. So, it was an inside day. We closed towards the bottom. We are up $2.50 tonight, and this doesn't scare me. I mean, this is an area of consolidation. The range is clearly 1800 and down to 1775 or so, and we'll see if we come out of that. It was the same situation with the silver today. It's about unchanged tonight. It's actually down less than a half of a cent, down 0.3 of a cent. Same thing, except that silver made a new high, new recovery high, and had a higher high and a higher low. Tonight, as I said, we're basically unchanged, and I think we look higher. Another big mover today was Bitcoin. And, this is not any big surprise. I have constantly said that this has reversed, except that it has some work to do. I said that a week and a half ago when we had that reversal from the 47,000 to the 54,500 range, and that's exactly what we did. We got a little further up than I would have expected into the gap, and we came right back down today. We were down, pretty strongly during the day today. We were down 32.50. Tonight, we're down another 600. But, this is nothing to be concerned about, I don't think. I think that, we will continue to consolidate between 51.5, 52,000 until we break out back above yesterday's, day before yesterday's high at 59.3 and have an assault on this. I still see no reason to not expect 67, 68 to 72,000. That was my original move. Now, the only other thing that I want to show you is the lumber, because I've been a bull on lumber now for well over a double. In this week's letter, I gave a projection, a price objective for the new month, which is July. The May is actually trading well over $100 a board foot higher. We closed here today up $63, which is limit up plus 50%. After all of these limit days, after you go up limit 3 days, 3 days, I believe, not the spot month, they expand the limit by 50. And that's what we had today. It was up 42 yesterday. Today the limit was 50% higher. It was up that 63. So I think that my number on Sundays in Sunday's letter was 1450 to 1500. We closed today, as I said, 1481. I would be surprised if we don't see some sort of a pullback here. And as we had a little over a week ago, it would also not surprise me to see another one of these. We opened the limit up, we went down on the day and ended up limit down, limit up, limit down. We didn't go any further because this market still had a bit to go, and I would think we might get back down into this 1375 area, which is the 5-day moving average, and bounce again or do some sideways action and either pull back like it did here or consolidate across like it did here before moving higher. This is a very tough market, and the demand for lumber is unbelievable. I saw an article today that was talking about 1.25 inch plywood sheets, like the ones that I used to use on sawhorses to support my Lionel trains. I think the last time that I bought them, and it wasn't that long ago, they were about $18 or $20 a piece. They now sell for $105.76 at wherever the store was that they had. All right, everyone. Again, sorry for the lateness. Tomorrow we have ISM services. We have the monthly ADP numbers. We have PMI, and we have mortgage applications. So there's plenty of news for tomorrow. Also, don't forget to hit that. Subscribe button and the notification button. I am, now that we have a system that seems to be working, going to be putting out a lot more videos on individual stock picks. Have a good evening. I'll be back in the morning.